Hey guys, welcome back to Dreaming Night Build. I'm your host, Genesis A. Crick, and I just wanted to highlight something today that's been an overarching theme in what I've been hearing from my clients over and over and over again. So, we're talking about non negotiables today. And how in the world do we make non negotiables stick? Now, we all have things to say that are important to us, whether it's talking about our self care, our family time, or business boundaries. But let's be honest. How often do we actually stick to them? And this is something that I really want to highlight and hone in and hit home for us because the problem is not that we don't want to follow through. The problem is that we don't always set ourselves up for success. So, what I want to do today is break down the 5 ways to develop non negotiables that actually stick so you can follow through consistently and build the life and business you actually want. So, number one, define what actually matters, not what sounds good, what actually matters. A lot of times we set non negotiables based on what we think we should be doing rather than what actually aligns with our values. And that's why I'm always going back to, are the things that you are doing every single day in alignment with the core values that you've created for yourself in your life? Now, an example of this would be if you say, I'll work out every morning at 5 a.m., but you hate mornings. So it's like it just doesn't work that way. And you happen to love evening routines, but guess what? You're not going to stick to that. So before setting non negotiables, ask yourself, what are the 3 to 5 things that truly move the needle in my life or my business? What commitments will make me feel aligned, not just accomplished? And what can I realistically follow through on given my current season of life? If you have a brand new baby, it's going to be a lot harder to have that wake up time at 5 a.m. When your non negotiables are based on your priorities, not external expectations, you are more likely to follow through. The second part of this is keep it simple and start small. As like with anything else, guys, I'm always about simplicity and starting as small as possible. One of the biggest mistakes that people make is setting too many non negotiables at once. So if you suddenly try to overhaul your entire life, obviously that's going to be overwhelming. And when life gets busy, those habits will be the first thing to go. Instead, what we want to do is start small. Choose just 1 or 2 key non negotiables to focus on first. Instead of doing 4, 5, 6 things like making a big long list, just stick to the 1 to 2. So, for example, instead of I'll journal for 30 minutes every day, start with 5 minutes. Instead of I'll work past 5 p.m. again, start protecting 1 evening a week. When you build consistency with small habits, it's easier to expand them over time. Number 3 is setting clear boundaries and actually enforcing them. A non negotiable is only a non negotiable if you protect it. So otherwise, it's just an idea, my friends. So once you decide on your non negotiables, communicate them clearly so that everyone else understands what they are. You want to make sure that it's clear not only for yourself, but for family and also for anyone else that's involved in your day to day routine. If you're prioritizing family dinners, tell your team you're offline by 6 p.m. If you're committing to daily workouts, block out that time in your calendar like it's an important meeting. Okay. If you're setting financial boundaries, automate your savings so it happens without thinking. These are all different ideas of things that you can do so that you're setting yourself up for success. So here's the key. When people push back, you don't want to cave. It might feel uncomfortable at first, but your time and energy deserve to be protected. So think about it like this. When you set the tone for what's important to you, people are going to respect that. So you just need to make sure that you are addressing it whenever that issue comes up with others. Number 4 is attaching your non negotiables to a bigger purpose. It's easy to let things slide when they feel optional, but when your non negotiables are tied to something bigger, for example, like your health, your family, your future, it's much harder to ignore them. I love to tie my why to everything that I do. And it just makes it so much easier for me to recognize that everything in my life has significance, everything has importance, and there's a reason behind me making these difficult decisions, right? So, for example, instead of saying, I want to exercise more, remind yourself, I work out because I want to be strong and I want to be present for my kids as they grow up. Another example would be, I should have better business boundaries. Remind yourself, I leave work on time because my family deserves my full attention. And when we can recognize that in and of ourselves and who we want to be, who we want to show up as, it becomes so much easier to have an attachment to that commitment. And when you connect your non-negotiables to a deeper why, they become essential. It's not just another task on your to-do list. And number 5 is create accountability. So you don't have to just rely on willpower alone. Willpower is just not enough. If you're trying to stick to a habit on your own, it's easy to slip when life gets busy. So set up accountability. Tell someone else about your non-negotiables, whether it's a friend or a coach or a mastermind group. Having people check in makes a huge difference. I have a consistent accountability checklist, but I also have an individual that I report to. And I say, this is what I've got going on. This is what I want you to look at. This is how I'm tracking my progress. You can also use habit trackers or journals or anything that you write down can help you stay accountable to your goals. Reward yourself for sticking to it and always make sure that you have an opportunity to celebrate your milestones, because every time you follow through, you reinforce the habit, and reinforcing the habit instills more confidence. And we all want to be more confident in all the aspects of our life. Confidence breeds success and opportunity. Here's what I want you to take away from today. Non-negotiables are what separate people who thrive from the people who just get by. The key is not just setting them. This is really important, guys. It's making them simple, clear, and meaningful enough that you actually stick to them. So here's my challenge for you. What's one non-negotiable you're committing to this week? I want to hear about it. Tell me in the comments. Give me an idea of what's going to be the most important thing that you're going to take on this week. So until next time, keep building your dreams and your life on your terms. And please subscribe to continue getting great content every single week.